Today is July 25th, 2015, and as everybody has noticed, the precious metals have been smashed recently. And actually, I have been making several videos a week, maybe 2 to 3 a week, but I uploaded none of them because when I watched the videos, I was really cynical and I was really kind of derogatory to other people on YouTube. I said, I shouldn't post this because I went off on some rants, and I said, that's one thing I do is like if something excites me or makes me angry, I'll do a video and I'll watch it and I'll say, it's out of my system now, and probably the wise thing to do is not to put it on YouTube where it might cause some anger. And also, the novelty of having a few thousand people watch me has worn off. For several years, it was like, I'll do a video and thousands of people will watch me, and I'll like feel connected and I'll feel like it really was exciting. And now I'm like, I'll do a video. Who cares? 10,000 people watch it. If I'm lucky, so what? I mean, it's interesting how I'm become jaded in this arena. But going back to the metals, so yes, the metals were smashed, and supposedly, according to technical analysis mumbo-jumbo, because gold closed on Friday, gold should maybe rally for 2 weeks or so and then fall further. This is all, mumbo-jumbo technical analysis based on the charts, which isn't always right, but it's right enough so that people take notice, and it's right enough so that people can, create a history to make them look like gurus where they can, show all their technical analysis where they're right and just not show the ones where they're wrong and say, well, this person's some kind of forecasting guru, that you get that feel. But one thing I want to really point out is the platinum class metals got really smashed. I mean, the bid price for rhodium is $8.16 an ounce, and that's 2008 crisis level. The price of rhodium is at its 2008 level when we had that crisis. Now, platinum's under 1,000. That's like, gold, platinum and rhodium compared to gold are really cheap. They've been cheap for years, but they're really, really cheap. Speaking about cheap for a period of time, I'm going to talk about the trade that I gave with Ernie. I was on Ernie's channel, and I gave a trade about the gold miners to the price of gold trade. That ratio is at an extreme. Well, in the last few months, that ratio became at an even more extreme. So that was a losing trade for this time period. In the time period when Ernie and I talked about that video to now, that was a losing trade. Okay? Obviously timing is everything. Maybe at this time, this is the better time to get in the trade, right? But for those who did that trade from that period where we talked about until now, that was a stinker. That was a crappy trade for this time period. And I'm talking about it because I mentioned it. Even though I had disclaimers saying, nothing's for certain, yes, the trade sucked, right? We talked about a sucky trade. Yes, we did. And I'm being accountable and saying, we gave a trade and it sucked. Okay. So having that off my chest, I want to say is maybe there'll be a follow-up to that trade where we can talk about, what went wrong. Not looking at the charts at the time, I was like, I don't trust this trade at all. But, the charts, the math, whatever, from that methodology said go for this trade, and I paid the price because, the trade sucks right now, okay? Obviously this trade didn't break me, but it sucks. And that's the nature of trading. You do stuff and it can suck. And this one's sucky most. Sucky, I don't know. Sucky in other languages. Super sucked, right? This sucked. Hated it. Bad trade. But that's nature. That's when it's a form of gambling, and you got to accept that beforehand. These things can suck. Okay. So going back to the precious metals, all the sentiment, when I see the sentiment, it makes me think it's going lower. Why? Because the level of dumb... See, this is what... I'm stopping right here. My other videos, I got too negative with it. Okay, so I just want to say is that the sentiment is telling me that, yes, we can have a boost, but the pain and punishment is not over yet. That is what the sentiment is telling me. However, the way these things work is everybody's saying what I'm saying, then the opposite always happens. Not always happens, but almost always happens. But what it comes down to is this. There has to be some kind of underlying fundamental thing that's going to happen in the news. There's got to be something, right? If things go on like this, I think that the price of gold and silver are going to lose all their gains and keep going down. But the way the world is right now, there's got to be something happening. You know, like Mark Armstrong says that we're going to have later this year. There's going to be there's going to start to be a collapse in confidence in the government sectors. Right now, everybody seems to trust government and central banks. I mean, it looks like Keynesianism has won right now. That's what it looks like. It looks like the Krugans are right. It looks like Obama's the big hero because he magically did all these things and it's all working. And man, it was just so easy. We should have done this a long, long time ago, shouldn't we have? I mean, that's how it's feeling right now. The gloating, right? On the social media, I'm seeing all the gloating about how, you know, the current administration and the stock market and the unemployment rate, it's all magically fixed and we're heading into utopia and the markets never go down. The stock market goes up forever. And it's like on the social media, I'm seeing a lot of the rabid liberals now, right? Because, I mean, they're claiming success, you know, triumph. The Obama has triumphed. The central banks, you know, the Federal Reserve has triumphed. They can do no wrong. And anybody who disagrees, that's what I'm seeing is that the pendulum is swinging so much up the other way. The pendulum is swinging so much to the left. It's like it's going to come crashing back at some point. And I think that is kind of, as long as the pendulum keeps going this way, I think the stock market's going to go up, the precious metals get smashed, and we're going to be at a utopia future we're all leftist utopia. That's how the sentiment I'm seeing right now is in front of the political realm. But I mean, man, is it that easy? I mean, can we really just create some policies with the central bank? And why didn't they do this before? I guess the answer was because we have these super duper computers and software they didn't have on the past. The Federal Reserve, the government policy, and their supercomputers can just give us economic utopia, right? Well, here's my thoughts on that. Human innovation goes on regardless of what the government does or says, right? You know, the innovation with Moore's Law, right? The Moore's Law has been in effect through different administrations, through different policies, right? So, I mean, it's like, in my opinion, it's kind of like politicians are trying to create credit for Moore's Law, right? And of course, when things aren't going good, they try and blame, they'll try and blame businesses. But when things go great, they say, "Oh yeah, I see. We help them out." I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent. But what I want to say is, I just want to notice the sentiment is that for people in the stock market, their reaction is, "I'm not making enough money. I made money, but I should be making more money." And for a lot of people I'm talking about the stock market, their opinion is that all you have to do is put all your money in the stock market and you'll always make money, right? That's the sentiment I'm feeling. And I don't think that's how things work. And I don't know. I mean, I really don't know, because the stock market rally was something else. And as I've always heard and I've observed, that bubbles can go on longer than people expect. And the timing of these bubbles is really hard. So many people have lost a ton of money trying to short a bubble because they were too soon. Okay, thanks for watching and be well.